to help that development of extending the arms is that when you lift, trying to make sure the arms are bent here. What tends to happen, one of the most common things is as people lift, they straighten the left arm, the tip goes low, and then when they cut, this left arm bends. Because it's already straight here, it bends in this position. This is one of the most common things we tend to see. Now, when you cut, if you try and put your arms too high, the tendency is you'll also bend the left. So the big things I want you to focus on with your arms today, make sure your elbows are bent by touching the inside points of your wrists, both wrists, onto the top of your head. So we're going to touch the top of the head and then extend. And when you extend, don't worry about being up at shoulder height. A bit below is fine. This will allow you to use the left arm a little bit more and stay relaxed. So this kind of height works quite well. Up here, you can start to be a little bit shoulder dominant, but try not to drop down too low. You don't want too steep an angle with the actual cut, okay? So you need to be able to extend forwards. Those are going to be your main focuses for the arms today. So it's going to be bent arms, touch the top of your head with your hands, and extend forwards, okay? So we'll start with just some basic warm-up. We're going to do jogging breathe 30 times. In fact, if I raise the camera a little bit, so you see my arm position. So from here, it'll be as normal, each needs my count. And then we're going to move on to a couple of other exercises and go from there. So as long as everyone's ready, we'll use these as our warm-up first. So just to get the shoulders moving. Right, when you're ready, Chudan Kamai. But if you haven't done so already, put me on speaker view so you've got it full screen rather than trying to spot me in the crowd. Okay, Chudan Kamai. To my count. And Hajime. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10. And relax. Take off a little bit. Okay, straight into the next one, which is a little bit more difficult, just for a bit of endurance and again, warming up around the shoulders. 20 men, 20 Sayu men. And we'll repeat that until we do 100 in total. Okay? So, Judan Kamai. This time I'll count each, then cut. Ni, then cut. Okay? So to my count. Judan Kamai. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。左右面。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。正面。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。1、2、3、4、5、6、 chich, hach, kyu, ju. I say amen. Ich, ni, sam, chi, go, rook, chich, hach, kyu, ju. Ich, ni, sam, chi, go, rook, chich, hach, kyu, ju. Shomen. Ich, ni, sam, chi, go, rook, chich, hach, kyu, ju. Last 10. Ich, ni, sam, chi, go, rook, chich, hach, kyu, ju. And relax. All right, we should all be fairly warmed up through the shoulders now, hopefully. So remember what Jerry said last week and Baz a couple of weeks ago. The idea is to try and make each of those cuts equal. That should be tiring because you're trying to focus on that correct movement. Make sure you've got the extension. Did everyone remember to try and touch the top of their head with their hands? So that movement, again, as we do repeated exercises, if you just do numbers without any focus, it becomes pointless. Trying to focus on that feeling every time you cut is fairly important. It's very important. Yeah. So try and remember the points we've gone over every time we do any of these sets. All right, and relax. Okay. All right, this time we're going to add variations of footwork that you can use in your suburi. And the good thing with these is you can do them at home, you can do them in the dojo, depending on what the setup is. Now, your standard setup for suburi, if I lower this slightly so you can see my legs a bit more. Your standard setup for suburi is lift on the right foot, cut on the left. Yeah, this is the kind of normal one that we tend to do. 1, 2, 1, 2, forward and back. So we're going to do that one first, which is basically what we've just been doing. Then is to try and move the foot first and cut after the foot moves. So it's the same thing, move, lift, cut. Yeah. What we're going to do after that is going to be trying to cut on the first step. So you lift first, then you step and cut. And the last one is move the foot first, but cut on the first step. Yeah, so more like when you're doing fumikomi with that feeling. So we'll go through each one as we do them. We'll do 20 of each with a small break in between to remind what we're focusing on the next one. So first one, nice and basic from here. We're going to lift, cut, forward, lift, cut, back. Basic menuchi suburi. Okay? Same thing to my count, ich, then cut. Right, churankumai. And ich, ni, sam, chi, go, rook, chich, hach, kyu, ju. Ich, ni, sam, chi, go, rook, chich, hach, kyu, ju. And relax. This time, move the foot first, but the same pattern for cutting. So it's going to be foot, lift, cut. So you're just making sure you move the foot before your hands, okay? And then the same thing when you step back. So here, foot, lift, cut. Cut still comes in on the second step, okay? 20 times. And 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10. And relax. Okay. This time, from here, we're going to lift first. So we cut on the first step. Lift, cut, then bring left leg up. Lift, and then bring the front leg back. Okay? Timing going back is a little bit more awkward because you feel like you should be lifting. So really focus on making sure you lift, cut as you step, bring the second foot up. Lift, cut as you step, bring the second foot back. Okay? So part of this is a coordination exercise as well. Like 20 times. Do you know come out? 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10. And relax. Okay, one left to do. Now, this is the more difficult one. We're basically combining the last two that we did. So from here, you're now going to move the foot first, but you're going to cut on the first step. The foot goes first, lift, cut, and then bring the second leg up. Foot goes first, lift, cut. Yeah? The easy way to do this, the cheap way, is to do this, where you just stand on one leg. Your weight should be relatively evenly balanced. So if you lift your right foot, you're going forwards. This is the feeling for when you cut. Lift your back foot, you're going back to be able to do something else. From here, ideally, you shouldn't be able to stand on one leg like a karate kid. Okay? So as that front leg lifts, you should already be stepping through. Lift. And then you have to try and cut within that 1 foot movement. Okay? So this is why it's difficult, and the same thing going back there. So focus on the feeling, lift the foot first, forward, lift, cut, and then bring the second leg up. Same going back, lift, cut, bring the front leg back. Everyone got that? Again, remember, if you don't have the headroom, you can do this as a kneeling exercise, just a basic suguri for the arms. If you're not sure, otherwise what you can do is use a rolled up newspaper, or like I've got here, like a little aerobics weight or something like that, to make sure you don't put holes in the ceiling. Okay? All right, Chudan Kamai. 20 times to my hands. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10. And relax. Okay, take a quick breather, have a quick drink. So all of these variations on footwork for suburi are things that you can actually use in your waza geiko, in your practice and in your jigeiko. So the idea of using the first one of lifting as you slide the front foot can be used for things like suriage, here, pa, and cutting as that back leg comes up. On the flip side of that, you can also use the same thing on the front foot and cut as that front foot steps forward. So you can vary all of your waza to fit these different types of footwork, but being able to practice them is never the easiest. Because of the variety, it becomes a constant memory test as to which one you do. Did everyone get 20 of them right and do the right one every time? I made the mistake on the last one of doing the one we did just before of lifting first. Yeah, it's completely normal. It's trying to get the different actions a little bit more natural to be able to use which one suits at which situation. All right, how's everyone feeling? How are we doing on time? Ah, plenty of time. Everyone feeling okay? No one's dying yet? Emily's like, nah. All right, let's do a little bit of work on the legs. So, from Chudan, legs apart, what we're going to do is as you lift, you go up onto tiptoes, come down, feet flat into a squat. I want you to cut down to horizontal and keep your back straight, which means engaging your glutes and pushing your bum forward a little bit more than you would for a normal squat where you'd have the bum back, okay? So make sure from here, up onto tiptoes, cut down, back straight. So push the hips forwards underneath, okay? We're going to do 20. Again, it'll be ich, go, cut, knee, go, cut, okay? Aishirankumai. And hajime. Ich, knee, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay there. Is everyone remembering to touch the top of their head with their hands? And ich, knee, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Shake off. Okay, this time down into Sonkyo. Hold your balance there, keep your back straight. Chudan Kamai. Again, for those who can't, if you've got any knee problems, anything like that, just do these standing or for a harder workout from a squat position is fine. That's down into Sonkyo, hold that balance. From here, we're just going to cut 20 times to my count. Ich, knee, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ich, knee, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I lied. 10 more. Ich, knee, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am relaxed. Okay, stretch out a bit. Yeah, and have a quick break. Okay. So with these exercises, guys, so particularly touching the hands to the top of the head, this is not a you must do suburi this way or it's wrong. This is a if you use this feeling in your suburi, it will help stop that left arm straightening and pulling down this way. Quite often, what tends to happen is because of that position, we get told that the Kensen is going too far back. And yet, when we watch videos of Sumi Sensei or other high-level sensei, the tip of the Shinai or Bokdo goes back to here anyway. But because the hands are in the correct position or only just above the head, it's one, not so pronounced, but two, doesn't affect their cutting. Yeah. So in terms of things like this, trying to make sure that you get the feeling of having the arms bent and touching the top of the head means that when you don't focus on it so much, there's only a very small gap. So by keeping close to the head here with the elbows bent, means you can then extend both elbows and straighten the arms. If you try going from straight arm position with one and bent with the other, invariably what happens is one straightens and the other one bends. Yeah. And quite often this is where the hits come in quite hard but flat. It's still ippon. If you do that at Taikai and hit someone on the head, you will score ippon. And regardless of what any sensei tells you saying it's not ippon, it might not be correct. I can guarantee if someone else hits you on the head with it, they'll score it. The same person who said it's not ippon. Yeah. And not because they mean to be contradictory, but just because if someone hits you on the head, it's going to score. But if you can get a better extension through your cut, you'll be more likely to hit, but also more likely to score when the hit isn't perfect. Yeah, you get less of the, oh, it wasn't enough. It was a bit too light. It didn't look quite enough. Whereas if you get this extension onto the cut, even if it's a bit lighter or it doesn't look perfect, you're more likely to get a decent ippon from it. Yeah. I'm not saying trick the shimpan. It's more a case of trying to get it as close to perfect as you can, or as close to those kind of aspects of perfection as you can. Everyone got their breath back? Everyone doing okay? All right. All right, we're going to do a couple of exercises more based around the wrist and elbow movement for small cutting. So from here, what I want you to do first of all is go into your men cut position. So Shinai or Bokdo should be out in front of you. Arms correct position in front. Don't change your grip, okay? From this position, to do any cut, large or small, your hand should stay in the same position. It shouldn't slide on the handle, okay? From here, you're just going to use your wrists. So the tip of the Shinai or Bokdo shouldn't move very far. Let me back a bit. You can see a little bit better. Yeah, because you're not using your elbows. All right, so from here, it's just that up-down movement at the tip, okay? This is going to lead into the next couple of exercises of making sure you get that extension. So from here, in your own time, you're going to do 20 of these. And it should be quite bouncy, quite relaxed, but try not to let that elbow move out to the side or up and down, okay? So from here at extension, in your own time, hajime. Good, okay. Nice and easy, right? Everyone find that fairly easy, no problems, not feeling like you're having to hitch the elbows out. Okay. This time, from here, we're going to bend the elbows so you come up to vertical at most. From there, we're going to extend forwards to your cutting position. Okay? Again, there is a reason for this and we will build on it. From here to here. So this time, we'll do it with a count. It'll be ich, ni, sam, like so. Okay? Try to make sure you end up in that cutting position every time. And as you do this, don't extend that left arm and bring it back that way. Yeah, so the same stuff we talked about when lifting for a large cut, try to make sure the elbows bend rather than straighten here, okay? So, from there, reach forward to your cutting position. Ich, ni, sam, chi, go, ruk, chich, ach, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. So that should feel a little bit strange because you're not actually lifting, you're just pulling back towards you and pushing forwards. Both of those are valid strikes for a small men cut. Yeah. In fact, two different sensei in the UK use this very kind of motion. One is very much a push forward with a small action at the hands. The other one tends to do a bigger movement and pulls back to cut. And both of these people are very strong. Yeah. So this is not to say that one is right or one is wrong, but what if you can get that elbow and wrist movement, you can get a much stronger feeling into a smaller strike. So this time, from here, we're going to raise up. So just relax the elbows, don't bend them. We're going to raise up and then push forward into our cutting position. Basically just a small cut. Yeah. The things I want you to bear in mind is try not to pull the Shinai or Bokuto back towards you. Try to keep the Kensen forward or vertical. Yeah. So from here, try not to let that happen. Keep the Kensen forward and then extend, ending up in that same position we have in the other exercises. Okay. So again, we'll do this at 20 to my count. 10段構え。大丈夫。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、and 10. And relax. All right, before we move on to the next one, any questions regarding any of those or what we've done so far? If anyone does, pop yourself off mute quickly, ask a question. If everyone's okay, we can carry on. All okay? All right. So this feeling when you do a small cut of using the shoulders, elbows, and wrists, raising and extending forwards. When we do the Motodachi exercise towards the end, focus on this feeling, trying to make sure it's a push forwards rather than back forwards. Yeah. This feeling will help with the idea of making your cut smaller without sacrificing power on the cut. Yeah. If you get good body movement, you can afford a smaller cut. If your forward movement is weak, then the tendency is your cut always appears a lot weaker. Not that you're hitting less, but usually it appears that it's got less power because of that body movement. So, in terms of that, the next exercise is back to the legs. And what we're going to do for this one, from here, if our full step is there for our cut, you're going to go halfway and hold yourself there on the ball of your foot. Okay, so I'll lower this a second. So from here, you're on the balls of your feet, both heels off the floor here. Same thing as we step forward, onto the ball of your foot, heel off the floor. So this is a little bit of a balance and control exercise. And then, for the last part of the step, small men cut. Okay? So it's the same feeling as what we talked about earlier, moving the feet before the hands. From here, step onto it, and then cut the rest of the way. Okay? So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and back. 1, 2, 3, and back. Okay? So sun is where we pull up the left leg and then step back afterwards. Okay? Everyone got that? All right. 10段構え。大丈夫。 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And one more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Try not to, as we do this, as you do the first step, push your hands forwards. Try to keep Chudan on the first one and only do the cut on the second bit. Yeah? So this time we're going to do it in 2 counts. Still each, then it's going to be knee and bring the left leg up and back. So each, knee and back. So there won't be a count for the third leg. So try and bring it up as quickly as you can on the cut. Chudan, come on. As you may. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. Each, knee. And one more. Each, knee. Yeah, I'm relaxed. All right, this time we don't do it with each in the middle. So we're not going to stop on the step. So from here, it's now going to be each and go in 1. Still try to make sure that foot moves before the hands. So you still have the feeling of step, step, extend, cut, and bring the leg up all together. Okay? So 1 count this time. Chudan, come on. Each, knee, thumb, chi, go, rook, chich, ach, Q, 2. Relax. Okay. So that's going to lead straight into our next exercise now with the motodachi. So from here, keep your feet moving nice and relaxed. If I step forward and open men, you're going to do exactly what we just did. Hit men and back. If I step forward for kote, debana kote. Same thing, kote and back. If I step back and open men, it's going to be tsuki. Same thing, push and back. If I step back with kote, kote, men, and back. So debana men, debana kote, tsuki, or kote men. Okay? Same exercise we've done the last couple of weeks. But keep your feet moving as if it's jigeko, as if you're looking for that opportunity at all times. Hey, hajime. As soon as I open, go. Make sure you get back to Judah nice and quick. Keep moving. I am relaxed. Okay. Baz, could you take over as Multidachi for one, please?
Yeah. Okay, guys, so same drill. Yeah. Right. Roger.
Okay. And where's he gone? Jerry, would you mind being Multidachi for a set as well, please? So if everyone pin Jerry Kincaid. Yes, please. Would you be Multidachi for one?
Okay,
Everyone else, make sure you've got Jerry on your main screen.
Okay, make sure you're moving pressure on the can stand as if it's real. Côté main. Do. Ski. Côté main. Do. Amen.
Great, thank you, Jerry. And last one, Darren, can I ask you to be Multidachi, please?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Great, thank you.
So on this one, the delay in cutting is often because we're thinking about what we're going to cut. So I'll not announce the cut. Try not to think, oh, there's a men there, I'm going to go for the men. Just go for whatever you feel, whatever your body tells you to. And if it's the wrong one, that's fine. Okay, so the more that you can do things without thinking, then the better and quicker your kendo will be. So just go for whatever comes to your mind straight away. Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, James.
Okay, right, how are we doing? 46. All right. Last couple of exercises. So, a little bit more workout for the legs and a bit of a balance exercise. We're going to do a couple of sets of this, or one each side, and then we finish with the usual that we had done before. And as soon as my cat gets out of the way, we'll start doing this. Okay. So, from Chudan Kamai, you're going to keep your hands in front of you. So I'm using my bottle for this. So you're not going to be cutting for this. You're going to lift your right leg up. So you're balancing just on the left. And you're going to do basically the footwork movement for higher saburi, forward and back. Okay? So what we're going to do is each knee, 30 on the left leg, immediately swap to the right to do 30 more. Okay? Just the footwork. Don't worry about the hands. Keep Chudan Kamai for now. Okay? All right, so everyone together. Chudan Kamai. Make sure you're nice and balanced. Take the weight back, lift the right leg up. And hajime. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, rok, chich, hach, kyu, ju. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, rok, chich, hach, kyu, ju. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, rok, chich, hach, kyu. Swap legs. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, rok, chich, hach, kyu, ju. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, rok, chich, hach, kyu. Last 10. Ich, ni, sam, shi, go, rok, chich, hach, kyu, ju, and relax. Okay, shake off a bit. All right, let's see if we've got this system set up so it works nice. Okay, so the last bit, I do share, that's fine. The last bit now is going to be higher saburi, but this is done to the beat of the song that's going to play. So, hopefully everyone can hear this. Yeah. It's going to be forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Any questions before we start that? The song is only just over 2 minutes long, so it's not that long. Yes, Ben? Is that what you're going to ask? How long is the song? It's not a particularly long song. You've got about 10 seconds-ish at the start to find the beat. If you've got me on, obviously, the main screen anyway, you can just follow at the same sort of timing. And then it starts to tail off just after the 2 minute mark. So it's only going to be 2 minutes at maximum that we're doing this for, okay? Each beat is cut, next beat back, boom, 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 boom. Okay, it's a fairly easy rhythm to stick to for this one. Okay, so if everyone's ready in Chudan Kamai, higher saburi to the beat of the song. Let's go. And done. And relax, guys. Done and dusted.